Major Somnath Sharma's life is a poignant narrative of courage, duty, and heroism, woven into the fabric of India's military history. His journey from his early years to his ultimate sacrifice on the battlefield at the young age of 24 encapsulates the essence of a soldier's undying commitment to his nation. Born on January 31, 1923 in Dad, Kangra, Himachal Pradesh into a Dogra Brahmin family, Somnath was the son of a military officer, Major General Amarnath Sharma. He grew up in a family where several members served in the military, including his younger brother Vishwanath Sharma, who would later become the 14th Chief of the Army Staff of the Indian Army. Sharma's early education was at Sherwood College, Nainital, followed by the Prince of Wales Royal Military College, Dehradun, and finally the Royal Military College, Sandhurst. His childhood was steeped in the teachings of Krishna and Arjuna from the Bhagavad Gita imparted to him by his grandfather. Life in military: commissioned into the 9th Battalion 19th Hyderabad Regiment of the British Indian Army, later the 4th Battalion Kumaon Regiment of the Indian Army. On February 22, 1942, Sharma's military career was illustrious. During World War II, he saw action against the Japanese in Burma as part of the Arakan Campaign, serving under Colonel K.S. Timaya. He was mentioned in dispatches for his actions during this campaign, an honor gazetted in January 1946. Sharma's military ethos was also influenced by his uncle, Captain K.D. Vasudeva, who had displayed remarkable gallantry in the Malayan campaign. Battle of Badgam: the pinnacle of Sharma's military career was his leadership during the Battle of Badgam on November 3, 1947, a key event in the First Indo-Pakistani War. Despite having his left hand in a plaster cast due to a hockey injury, Sharma insisted on leading his company, D Company of the 4th Battalion, Kumaon Regiment, in combat. The company was deployed to Badgam to counter the infiltrators moving toward Srinagar. As 2 of the 3 deployed companies returned to Srinagar, Sharma's company came under heavy fire from a tribal Lashkar of 700 infiltrators. Despite being outnumbered 7-1, Sharma led his men with exemplary courage, running between posts under heavy enemy fire, distributing ammunition, and operating light machine guns with his one good hand. The battle raged intensely. Despite being heavily outnumbered and outgunned, Sharma's men held their ground, repulsing multiple attacks. Major Sharma, ever in the thick of the fight, called for ammunition and reinforcements, understanding the strategic importance of holding their position to protect Srinagar and the airfield. In the late afternoon, the situation grew dire as the company's ammunition dwindled. Sharma, steadfast in his resolve, refused an order to retreat, famously declaring, "The enemy is only 50 yards from us. We are heavily outnumbered. We are under devastating fire. I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to the last man and the last round." Tragically, moments after this communication, a mortar shell struck an ammunition box near Sharma, killing him and several others. His sacrifice, however, was not in vain. The delay caused by his company's brave stand allowed Indian reinforcements to arrive and secure the area. Legacy: Sharma's bravery at Badgam was instrumental in delaying the enemy for 6 hours, allowing Indian reinforcements to secure the Srinagar airfield. He was posthumously awarded the Param Veer Chakra, India's highest military decoration, on June 21, 1950, the first recipient of this honor. His legacy extends beyond the battlefield. A crude oil tanker, MT Major Somnath Sharma, PVC, was named in his honor by the Shipping Corporation of India. Sharma's life and heroism were also immortalized in the first episode of the TV series Param Veer Chakra, 1988, where his role was portrayed by Farooq Sheikh. His statue stands at the Param Yodha Sthal, National War Memorial, New Delhi, a testament to his valor. Citation: Major Somnath Sharma, IC 521, for Kumaon. On 3 November 1947, Major Somnath Sharma's company was ordered on a fighting patrol to Badgam in the Kashmir Valley. He reached his objective at first light on 3 November and took up a position south of Badgam at 1100 hours. The enemy, estimated at about 500, attacked his company position from 3 sides. The company began to sustain heavy casualties. Fully realizing the gravity of the situation and the direct threat that would result to both the aerodrome and Srinagar if the enemy attack was not held until reinforcements could be rushed to close the gap leading to Srinagar via Humhama, Major Sharma urged his company to fight the enemy tenaciously. With extreme bravery, he kept rushing across the open ground to his sections, exposing himself to heavy and accurate fire to urge them to hold on. Keeping his nerve, he skillfully directed the fire of his sections into the ever-advancing enemy. He repeatedly exposed himself to the full fury of enemy fire and laid out cloth strips to guide our aircraft onto their targets in full view of the enemy. Realizing that casualties had affected the effectiveness of his light automatics, this officer, whose left hand was in plaster, personally commenced filling magazines and issuing them to the light machine gunners. A mortar shell landed right in the middle of the ammunition, resulting in an explosion that killed him. Major Sharma's company held on to its position, and the remnants withdrew only when almost completely surrounded. His inspiring example resulted in the enemy being delayed for 6 hours, thus gaining time for our reinforcements to get into position at Humhamato, stem the tide of the enemy advance. His leadership, gallantry, and tenacious defense were such that his men were inspired to fight the enemy by 7-1 6 hours after this gallant officer had been killed. He has set an example of courage and qualities seldom equaled in the history of the Indian Army. His last message to the brigade headquarters a few moments before he was killed was, "The enemy are only 50 yards from us. We are heavily outnumbered. We are under devastating fire. I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to the last man in the last round."